Hello Vikings and welcome back to Expeditions of Viking, where in the last episode we finally built our longship. We passed a bunch of time, and unfortunately I am kind of feeling that maybe I should have picked a different thing to do across that time. I don't feel that made the best use of time, considering how much time passed, really. We're currently building the Mead Hall. It's going to take 1 week and 1 day to be finished. The whole of the thing, built mainly to accommodate feasts and celebration. I've had a lot of feedback telling me that perhaps what I would prefer to do is actually focus on either power or prosperity, but I kind of like I like doing both. But yeah, we'll see how that works out. I mean, may have been better to do a couple of other things, but we'll see. We will see. We've got plenty of prosperity coming in through from the farms. We've got loads of things that'll give us prosperity further down. It's going to be an interesting one. These are now locked out. I don't believe I can actually undo anything like this. So we're just going to have to hope that I haven't made a terrible decision really early on that has locked us in on a failing track. If so, we will accept our failure with dignity and kind of stoic salt. I'm not going to lie, there's going to be a bit of salt. It'll be stoic salt. So there won't be rage, except inside. Inside there will be, the salt mines will be being mined with fury. But on the outside, just calm, staring into an unseen distance. Maybe a sunrise in the background, something like that. Possibly a single manly tear rolling down the cheek, full of rage. But other than that, you won't know. But we'll see. Generally, from the comments, it's not something that I've not done anything that is unsalvageable at this point. And I would still maintain that I would prefer no spoilers, but, hints here and there are useful. But I would consider it pretty poor form if a game allowed you to completely scupper your run really early on and then just not tell you until the end. Like, if it literally locks you in off on a failing path due to very early game choices. I don't mind there being, complete failure options, but make them closer to the failure. Don't punish me for something I did so long ago I don't even remember doing it now, because that's just frustrating. But with that said, thank you very much for the comments who alerted me to maybe I kind of want to focus on something more than trying to do everything. And we'll bear that in mind in the future. So don't worry, it's now on my radar. But with that said, let's just get out there and do some raiding. Oh my lord. No. Over there. That's where I want to go. That's right. Row! Oh, the waves are calm, and the Aavak is making slow progress. Suddenly, Sarah yelps. I got one! Sarah has been trailing a line lazily off the stern. Now she is braced against the stakes. The strakes. I'm not sure what that is. With both feet, fighting some enormous sea creature. I'm not letting you escape, you big bastard! Well, language. Sarah fights the fish for a long time, drawing cheers and encouragement from everyone. Fortunately, the fish is no match for Sarah's endurance, and eventually she hauls it up into the ship. Everyone cheers, and Higgy quickly gets to work, filleting and preserving the catch. I imagine that just made us a lot of rations. Well done. Very well done. I approve. I'm also going to go with some coffee. Look, we're about to make landfall on the undefended English coast. I need coffee for this. All right, if you thought this was going to be a tea situation, oh, no. We set off here to raid, not to make friends. I mean, hopefully we'll make friends whilst raiding. We're not going to be savages about it, of course. All right, we've got, let's see. Well, obviously, Roskova's coming. Nefja has unwavering loyalty. You're going to come along as well. Gunnar, you too. See, Ketil, you're so peaceful. The world is too cruel for your gentle soul, Ketil. But I'm going to bring you along anyway. Just don't make me regret it. And as Leafir, I think. Yes, okay, let's Well, get onto the coast and begin the aforementioned raiding. Though once again, we're not going to be savages about it. We're not just going to descend upon people and butcher and slaughter everything we see. No. There's going to be a way that we're going to do this, and I'm going to try and please Kettle at least somewhat. I'm going to try and not displease Kettle as much as I know I'm probably going to. All right, there's going to be an attempt not to upset Kettle's gentle sensibilities. Men and women watch you disembark from the rocks above, silhouetted against a light grey sky. Down the beach, two brave youngsters keep a close eye on the mysterious strangers and their imposing warship. Nafia's boots sink into the sand as she jumps the few feet from the ship, weapon in hand, and see a path up the cliffs to the south. They'll be expecting us. Gunnar grips his axe, clearly pleased to feel its weight in his hand. No. They know we're coming, but they won't be expecting us. Oh, I like your thinking there, Gunnar. Kettle staggers as he feels the firm ground sway beneath him after days of sailing. Shading his eyes with a hand, he looks up at the stone building that towers above the cliffs. If we've come for riches, I'd say we found it. Look at that fortress. Zlifir, if the plan is to attack that hall, I hope this coast is as undefended as the rumors made it out to be. A king who can afford a building like that can also afford to retain warriors to protect it. That's true. Though I imagine this is more of a monastery, or at least I hope we've come upon a monastery instead of a bloody fortress. Roskva speaks, barely loud enough to hear over the roar of the surf. It's not a fortress, I think. It has an air of sanctity about it. I could be wrong, but... No, see, it's gonna be fine. Adis is already tossing sacks of supplies onto the beach, making ready to establish a camp. Getting ahead of yourselves, sweethearts. Smoke didn't come from that building. There's a village above those cliffs. Should go say hi. We're going to scout things out. The rest of you, drag up the ship and make camp. Very well. Oh, this is so good. Oh, it's been a couple of days. Actually, it's been about a week, I think, since the last time I recorded. No, come back. Come back. I want to know your secrets. I'm chasing children. All right, fine. I want to know other secrets first. There's loads of secrets down here. Let's go and grab secrets. It's fine. You know what? Like I said, we're not going to be savages, mind you. Letting them prepare for our approach. It's less savage and more stupid, really. But I'm not going to just go up there and start hacking and slashing and killing. My intention is to be straightforward and blunt. We're here to raid. We're here to pillage your riches. But if you acquiesce, no one needs to get hurt. We're not here to maim and slaughter. That is not going to be our way. We are, however, here to take your riches. And this can be done one of two ways. One of them is significantly easier and involves much less bloodshed. The other one involves a lot of bloodshed. Your bloodshed. Because we're awesome. At least that's what it's going to be. That's the confidence we need to project. Because if you go into a fight thinking you've won it, you have almost half won it. Confidence counts for a lot. An awful lot. There are times when I've managed to talk my way out of a battle just by talking as if I have nothing to worry about. People will read into that. But you've also kind of got to have the body language to back it up, because your words can be saying quite a lot, and if your body's saying something entirely different, well, it's going to ruin the effect. Right. Oh, this is pretty. You can tell I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I was like, oh, I need to gather these herbs for alchemy. No, I don't. I'm not here to pick flowers. Okay. The group who intercepts you above the cliffs display every indication of a classic angry mob, down to the prevalence of pitchforks. Okay, well, this is going to plan. The middle-aged man at the front, hastily dressed in cheap hide jerkin and wielding an actual spear, hails you in a language that tickles something at the back of your mind, but doesn't quite translate into meaning. See, I hadn't actually considered this, but I should have. Obviously, we can't speak their language. My ideas of telling them, look, just put down your weapons and let us take your gold, and then you don't have to die, may fall on deaf ears. No, they've rushed at us with weapons drawn. We could brandish... No, we're going to brandish our weapons. Nervous shuffling ripples through the welcoming party as they all shift their weight, grasp their weapons more securely, and generally prepare for the day to get a lot worse. The man in front, whom you have mentally labelled as the emissary, speaks a few short commands to his friends, followed by a terse, but, you think, reconciliatory sentence addressed to you. Ah, see? Confidence. You brandish your weapons with me, I will brandish mine, and I brought warriors. It looks like you brought farmers. One step behind you, you sense Kettle shifting his weight anxiously. I think I understand this? You understand what they're saying? Mostly, some of it. He was asking who we are, and where we've come from. Now I think he's asking us to come with them. Nafia is doing her level best to hide the incredulity in her voice. I love that word. How could this be? You've never left Skjern in your life. I assume Odin decided on a whim to grant me complete power over language just now. Why would I lie? Kettle, you're amazing. Tell them to throw down their weapons, or we'll teach them a lesson they won't soon forget. Kettle gives you a sheepish look. Oh, my peaceful followers have lost morale, but my aggressive ones have gained it. Hooray! I'm fairly certain that I'm fairly certain everyone here, except Kettle, is aggressive. Or at least Kettle is the only peaceful one. I think we've got 3 aggressive ones. Islifir, Gunnar, and Nefja are aggressive. I'm not sure Roskva. Kettle gives you a sheepish look. I don't know how to say that. I get their meaning, but I can't speak that language. The Welcome Committee has been listening to your exchange, and now fervent discussion is rippling through their ranks. They quickly seem to reach some sort of conclusion, and their youngest member takes off at full tilt down the path towards the woods. More cryptic declarations are transmitted by the emissary. Kettle strains to understand and translate. He's asking us to stay, wait, and something about a wise man. They're getting someone who can help. Lies, they're getting reinforcements. We attack now while the numbers are in our favour. Are the numbers in our favour? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. No. I'm not going to say this one. For the simple reason that I am not going to be bad at math. You lied. These numbers are not in my favour at all. We'll do as they ask. Again, we're not going to be savages about this. I can spare a few minutes. It doesn't matter how many people they bring. If they just bring more warriors, it's going to make the fight more interesting. They did say a wise man, though. They could have been lying, but I choose to believe they weren't. A few tense minutes pass. The guarded looks crackling between your herd and the natives, and the uneasy shuffling of feet on both sides contrast bizarrely with the calm waves against the beach and the pretty song of the birds amongst the trees. Also, the whole Scarborough Fair thing. Don't think I didn't notice it, game. I approve of your choice of music. Right. Continue. Or at least it's got a very Scarborough Fair feel to it. Finally, an errand boy returns at a trot, trailing a tall man in a shaggy robe, whose stride is far more brisk than ought to be possible with sandals in such an advanced state of unravelment as his. As he reaches the welcoming party, the robe man lowers his hood and takes in the sight of your modest heathen horde. Watch it. With a slow, deeply interested look. Okay. A few words are exchanged between him and the emissary, and then the rope man closes the distance between you, bows, and introduces himself in a heavy accented Saxon.
Dominus Vibiscum, stranger. I am Brother Morkans. I have given my life to studying the ineffable beauty of God's work.
I like you already. I hope I don't have to beat you down. Skjern, being well situated along the trade routes to Saxony, you've had enough contact with your southern neighbours to learn their language. At any rate, you speak it about as well as this man. I am Aavak, son of Bjorn, and this is my retinue. Please tell me, Halford Aavak, whence have you come, Halford? Yeah, I want to know what you just called me. Halford, what is this? Halford is an expression of respect in our language. It means... He struggles for a moment to think of a way to explain it. It means master of the house. Oh, well, fair enough. Okay, I accept. I was going to answer your question with a question, but as you've been polite, I'm not going to hide where we come from. Again, we're not going to be savage about this. We're going to be polite raiders. I'm going to take a leaf out of Gunnar's book. Yes, we're going to show up. We're going to fight. We're going to take stuff, but we don't harm those who don't need to be harmed. We've come for Skjern and the coast of Jutland to the east. Morkant's gaze turns inwards as he no doubt pictures the world around him as he knows it. I believe we know your people as the Danes. Okay. We are the Danes, or Utes, or simply Norse. But those of us who go abroad are known as Vikings. Well, Viking is more of an action word, really. We are Viking right now. We are... I understand my knowledge of language is sketchy in some areas, but this is something I'm fairly certain of, that the Viking is quite often used as a name in error because it was more of the thing that people were doing. They weren't Vikings in the same way that I am not woodworking. I do woodworking. I am not woodworking, if that makes sense. Yeah, you might call me a woodworker, but I don't believe Vikings is the correct use of the word. I could be wrong, though. I would really love it if someone in the comments who does happen to know could chime in on that. I've actually really loved this game simply because of the amount that I'm learning from people who do know what more about the topics that this game is talking about. It's one of the hidden benefits of YouTubing. I'm going to be straight up, yeah. Those of us who go abroad, I don't think that's actually true, because those of us who go abroad to trade are not Vikings, but no, we can be polite without being foolish. Let's not give more information than we need to. That is one of the names by which we are known. He smiles. It feels like progress is being made. We are Angles, and this is the kingdom of Northumbria. I myself am a monk, a servant of the Lord, and a travelling scholar of cultures, languages, and faiths. Some impatient shuffling of booted feet behind him seems to remind Morkant of the reason he was summoned. He rattles off a few quick sentences to reassure the mob before he turns back to you and jumps to the point. Might I inquire as to the purpose of your journey? Again, I am not going to lie. We're here for a very specific purpose, and it doesn't need to be bloody, but it does need to happen. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be a viper. We're not going to win any battles by sneaking around and Machiavellian schemes and machinations. No, we're going to be honest. We're here to rob you. And if it goes peacefully, all the better. We have come for gold and silver. Take us to your chieftain so we can make our demands. The monk pales visibly. After a moment's hesitation, he relays some information to the rest of the group. Judging from their lack of immediate aggression, you're guessing he puts it a little more diplomatically. Well done, Morkant. I like you even more. Let us bring you before Mauklin, the Ealdorman of this shire, then. Well, we'll see how it goes from there. Yes, let's do that. Okay. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. See, I'm fairly certain this music is meant to sound this way, then. Alright, well, let's have a quick glance at our quest log. At long last, you've arrived on the coast of Britannia, but if you are to travel over the land, you'll need horses and supplies. Get hold of some horses and supplies. Optional. Meet the chieftain of the village. Well, I see no reason not to, considering that's what I said I'm going to do. But I just want to have a quick peek back here. Some stuff was going on back here, wasn't there? Is there? Ooh, what are you? You are? The stone looks like it stood here forever. Its base is covered in lichen. Its top in bird droppings. Strange markings are chiseled across its surface. Some look like the shapes of animals or plants, but some are completely incomprehensible. Oh, okay, fair enough. We have got a chest, though. I'm taxing the people here. Hardened leather, birch bow. I mean, it's nothing amazing, I'll be honest. I guess I haven't completely escaped from Henry, have I? Right, anything more back here? There's also... Yeah... We can loot later. I'm not going to insult a chieftain by making him wait. I would feel insulted if I was forced to wait. No. Like I said, not savages. We're here for a purpose. Doesn't mean that we need to be barbaric about it. Okay. Well, you've got your warriors. This is going to be a fair fight then. There is no mistaking the head of the village for a citizen of lesser stature. He is one of those elders who has only turned weathered from formidable with old age. Ah, I see, okay. And yet, as you're brought before him, There is unmistakable fear in his eyes. My name is Mauklin. I am the Garefa of this town. Okay. Let's see. We're going to be polite, I think. Or should we just march in? Yeah, we don't need to be impolite. I'm Aavak Bjarnson. It is an honor to meet you. There follows a lengthy extrapolation by Morkant in the local language. The old man eyes you suspiciously all the while. Norse, are you? We've had some visitors from your lands before. You're given to understand that visitor is used here as a euphemism for a range of words along the lines of barbarian, savage, murderer, raider, plunderer, and so on. You tell me what happened when you last met people of our kind? We are not raiders, we are honourable people, and our errand is peaceful. That better not have been a veiled insult. Very bad things happen to those who insult me. Tell me what happened. The more information I can get before we get down to business, the better for me. Again, you don't need to launch into violence, even if ultimately that is your goal. There's lots of other things you can get first. A ship much like yours came to a small island south of here. The port Grefa of the place mistook them for merchants and directed them towards Euphoric. But before they left, they killed him and his men. We were much lucky that they didn't come here. We feared their return ever since, and now here you are. What shall we make of this? Oh, well, that's unfortunate. It's still an insult. Okay. Morkant translates somewhat nervously, but its translation appears to have been faithful, because Michaelin swallows hard. I meant no insult, Norse Halford, but you must go elsewhere on your errand. We cannot help you. I will not ask you this politely again. You may trade with us, or we can simply take what we need. Ah, really? I can't raid? Damn it, I should have been straight to the point. Oh well, lesson learned. Instead of translating your words, Morkant addresses you in Saxon. If I may, this isn't simply a question of trust, or even willingness. Okay. This village has no horses. They are too poor, and likewise they lack wealth with which to trade. A band of outlaws have recently troubled the village. They camp beyond the nearby stream, frequently attacking the farms or robbing merchants entering or leaving the town. Am I getting roped into a bloody quest? All because I didn't select that one. Well, actually, it might have ended up in exactly the same way, I suppose. Look, Morkant, I like you. You amuse me with your appearance, and also you intrigue me with your knowledge. Therefore, this is going to go a lot better for them than it might have otherwise. It would be useful to have a trading partner. It would be useful to have a base of operations that isn't openly hostile to me. Granted. There's more to raiding than simply charging in with weapons drawn, as I've said many times before. You can get a lot more information before the violence starts if you play your cards right. And if these people are as poor as Morkant is saying, and I have no reason to doubt Morkant's sincerity yet, then raiding them wouldn't serve me particularly well anyway. It would be better to have them as, well, not so much unwilling allies, but as at least not enemies. A sort of grudging neutrality. Are you suggesting we rout these bandits? It might be exactly the kind of opportunity you need, if I understand what you're after. I mean, if the bandits have gold, I don't care where the gold comes from. Again, to be honest, I'd actually prefer a bit of a fight rather than just beating farmers. There's no glory in that. There's no. It's not the stuff of song, Morkant. This is what I'm trying to get at. Also, their weapons and armor are going to be useless to me. I want stuff I can salvage so I can make even better stuff. If you were to drive out the outlaws and reunite the villagers with their possessions, they would have the means to give you what you're after. And what stronger demonstration of goodwill could they wish for? Well, I'm not really here for goodwill, Morkant, you understand? But, like I said, I like you. I'm glad that I waited for you to show up. Though it has cost me an opportunity for Viking, but... alright. Michaelin is tapping his foot on the ground, arms crossed, watching you and Morkant converse in a language he doesn't understand. As soon as you pause, he jumps in and Morkant resumes translating. I ought to warn you, as Greffer of this town, I answer to King Osred. Whatever befalls us here, you can be sure the king will hear of it. If a fight is unavoidable today, the village is the weaker foe. You won't need to translate this, Morkant. I'm not here... Well... The village may be the weaker foe, but they're also a poor one. Also, like I said, I want the weapons and armor. I have no reason to doubt my herd can defeat a stronger foe, and that's going to bring me more glory. Ultimately, I can only imagine that the gods will favor a display of courage and prowess in battle against actual warriors instead of beating shepherds and farmers. Very well, we'll prove that these people have nothing to fear. They do, but you know what? If they want to read that out of this, that's fine. The multilingual monk casts a hopeful glance at you as you turn back to your village. As you turn your back on the village elder. If you're going to confront those outlaws, do you mind if I come with you? Ooh, what possible purpose could you serve? I mean, I like it, but tell me more. Morkant gives you one of those smiles that humble men use when they are actually very proud of themselves. I think you'll find that I can take care of myself. Okay, Morkant. I like where this is going. You know what? As much as I feel a little bit disappointed that our initial raiding charge into Britain has ended with me doing some busy work for a bunch of villagers, which is absolutely not where I want this to go. Getting a new follower who can speak the language, that is actually worth a lot more. I can make much more intricate demands if I've got someone who can translate those demands better than me just waving my weapon around and making angry noises. My travels have taken me far and wide, and you don't come such a long way without knowing a thing or two about defending one's own person. Very well. Stay at the back when the fighting starts. You can count on me. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. Very well. We've got an updated quest, everyone. This is going in a very different direction than I thought it would go. But alright. And you know what? Actually, having somewhere where I might be able to trade for reagents and things to actually build better gear out of, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Also things to help me work on my homestead as well. Yeah, alright, this is possibly going in a better direction than it would have if I'd had my way initially. But still... Oh, we've been at sea for so long. Just want to have a bit of a fight to get all of the acid crystals out of my muscles. Not that we'd be thinking that. To stretch the legs and get the blood pumping, all of that sort of stuff, without going into the details of how very long periods of time of not really doing much can affect your inner workings. At long last, you've arrived at the coast of Britannia. Get a hold of some horses and supplies. Optional, find the bandit camp and kill the bandits. Okay, well, at least we're going to fight someone. But first, I'm going to tax you. You can't expect me to go on a fetch quest. Well, it's not actually a fetch quest. You can't expect me to go and fight your battles for you. I came here to fight you, and I'm going off now to save you. This is not really how it was meant to go. I've got a funny feeling that this proves that they're better diplomats than me. I'm not sure I like that, actually, thinking about it. Oh well. Maybe I can learn their wily ways. At any rate, well done them. Morkant is the real victor here, I feel. I don't think the graffier of the town, is that the correct term? I forget now. But I don't think they would have been able to talk us out of it. It would have gone to raiding. But somehow, Morkant managed to convince us to not end up just raiding everything. It's even convinced us to help these people. Well, bloody done, wandering monk. I'm impressed by you. Even more impressed than I was to begin with. Right, what else can we find? But there's got to be more things I can tax. But I'm not going to go out and kill bandits for you without some sort of recompense. And I'm talking about much more than just being able to trade with you later on. Still not entirely decided that will be the case. I wonder if I can we'll go and get the riches and that. No, these are our riches now. Consider this the payment for us not raiding you. That would be a good conclusion, at least for me. I would feel that we got a decent amount out of that then. There's so much to tax in this town. Are you sure they weren't wealthy, Morkant? I feel that you may have been fibbing. Look at all these taxable barrels. My lord. Also, their leader is doing a very poor job of taxation. This might be why the town itself is poor. It's because all of the peasants are wealthy. Very well. Maybe I'll have to give him a lesson as well. We'll come here to raid, and we'll end up leaving. Ooh, I'm padding. Leaving the local leader in a much better state of things. I mean, you know, there won't be any welfare to tax once we're gone, but once there is welfare, then they'll know how to tax it better in the future, and it'll all be good. What is this?
I have seen this symbol
Ooh.
before.
Okay.
The cross of the Frankish god. Estrid mentioned that they worship him here.
Ah.
This could become a problem. There's no love lost between our gods and theirs.
You think the Franks might try to interfere with our activities here?
Maybe.
Exactly. We may have to make an example or two if they get bold.
Well, that's fine. I have no problem with making an example of bold Frankish god worshippers. Oh, you know, honestly, I don't think it's so much that there's no love lost between our gods. I think it's more that there's no love lost between their god and ours. More to the point. Our gods are used to there being lots of gods. Their god, bit less so. Bit greedy, really. There we are. I wonder what these people are thinking. Is that just a strange thing? Just walks in, starts emptying all their barrels. They might just be thinking that they're glad that we're not emptying them of all their blood, I suppose, which would actually make a lot of sense. There we are. We've actually become quite wealthy in terms of resources from this. Wow. 25 salvage. We've got 32 hides. I really want a lot more hides, though. That is something I feel that we need a lot more of. What else are we going to get? And this is absolutely worth the time it takes to do. Ever since I've discovered just how profitable it can be to well, not profitable, but how good it is to make your own gear. Oh my lord. I'm suddenly extremely glad that I was... Oh wow, really? You just leave a dead body on the bank of your town? That's not very hygienic. But I'm extremely glad that I was so thorough in looting everything I could find before. Right, where are these bandits likely to be then? There you go, got some more herbs. Apparently, oh, just they're on this map. Oh, well, that's quite useful for us. What on earth is this? A pile of animal pelts from sheep and a few deer lie conspicuously stacked in a small clearing. A gamey, decayed smell wafts up about the area. Search the pile. As you dig through the hides, it becomes clear that they have been here for a while. By the time you reach the bottom of the pile, it has become a fetid mess that brings your bile up. You plunge your hands into the disgusting heap, sinking your arms up to the elbow. You feel your fingers close around the metal. It is lukewarm and slimy to the touch. Amidst the foulness, you spot a glint of gold. It appears that a cache of jewels has been secreted away underneath it. I've not got very much finesse, unfortunately. We'll try. Failed. As you tug your arms free, you feel a stab of pain as something jagged tears through your skin. Though you retrieve the jewels, you have a jagged, painful scar on your arm, covered in the slime of decay. Oh dear, that's not good. Light infection. Ah, no. After wiping away the grime, you find the treasure to be strangely familiar. A small handful of brooches, arm rings, and carved pendants bearing Norse runes and images of Sleipnir, Odin's eight-legged horse. How did they end up here? Aavak, could this have something to do with your father? Ooh, really? Maybe someone in the village knows. We'll have to earn their trust before we start asking around. Okay. Just as well then. Ah, really? My strength is massively messed up now. Okay. Lead the way. The wreath in the woods. I may have to go out and make camp just so I can cure this bloody infection. Before we get to any fighting. One skill point. Good. That is unfortunate. Oh well. At least we still got the jewels though, and it was a worthwhile quest to worthwhile thing to have lost health over. We've got a gate down here. We've got someone down there. Okay, so this is more of... Well, I'm not sure actually what this is. Perhaps that's the monastery. Okay, more things to tax. Fantastic. We've uncovered quite a lot of the map at this point, though, so that's not too bad. And loads more items as well. Okay, doesn't look like we can go in there. No, actually, that's just a barn. That's fine. Alright, well, that's going to be a bit of a potch to fix. Again, I'm probably going to have to leave the map before we get into any big fights. Though, that being said, as an archer... See, this is the thing. As an archer, you do actually need quite a lot of strength to ply your trade. It's not simply a case of, oh, it's a ranged weapon, so you use different stat. No. To draw a bow is actually not that easy, especially if it's a good bow. If it's got a heavy draw weight, then you're going to need to be quite strong to manage that. And a messed up arm is not going to be particularly good. Even if it was my left arm, so for me that would be the arm holding the bow. I mean, that's a little bit better, but still, because it's less strength involved in drawing the bow. You could just lock your elbow and then all of the strength is coming from your right arm as it pulls the bow back, but the strength in your left arm is going to be what dictates keeping the bow steady, because that, you know, a good bow is, depending on how tall you are, obviously it's all kind of in proportion to how long your arms are and how tall you are is linked to that. But unfortunately, a good bow is probably a heavy bow. Nestled amongst the trees, you spot a small garden. At a glance, it simply looks like foliage, but looking closer reveals carefully planted patches and bushes of herbs and medical plants. Raid the garden, find its keepers. Yes. You rip from the soil a number of plants which you recognize as having curative uses and save them for later. There we go. Herb garden looks worse for wear after you raided it. The remains are patchy and messed. Without tending, they will likely wither. Well, hopefully someone will come and tend them, and then we can raid them again in the future. Right. My greedy followers have gained morale. That would be Kettle, then. Anything else? Well, there's an area up there that would take us off the map, but I'm interested in finding out what's over here before we go any further. You look hostile. The smell of thyme and sage waft through the thick boards of the wooden gate, and underneath it, almost masked by the herb garden, the unmistakable aroma of stables. There are horses in there. What is this place? It doesn't look like a fortress. Morkant jumps in eagerly, white teeth beaming in a proud smile. This is the convent of the Augustine order. The women in here have dedicated their lives to the rule of Saint Augustine. So it's a temple. He smiles and turns a shade overbearing. Of a sort. It looks wealthy. Cattell pushes against the gate and it gives slightly. This gate wouldn't stand up to our axes. Morkant shuffles his feet in a distinctly worried manner. Maybe we should get back to what we were doing. Breach gate. The gate will not withstand a direct attack, but breaking it down will surely alert the village. I'm not about... No, not yet. We can always choose to do that later. And we quite possibly will. This is why we're here. And honestly, if their god hasn't finished their temple with warriors, then it's their god's fault. Right, I think we should have a quick look what's outside. You need to acquire horses. Ah, really? Oh, that's annoying. Alright then. I guess we are going to have that fight then. It's not great, but okay. If only I'd been thorough in exploring everything after I had the fight. Lesson learned, I guess. Oh, there we are. 6 men and women are strewn about the riverbank, inhabiting a camp of tents that appear to be made out of sails of a ship. Some attempts to establish a perimeter of sentries has been made, but it's immediately obvious that whoever is organizing this has never had a day of battle training in their life. Having thus managed to get quite close to the camp without being seen, you are free to ponder your approach from the other side of the river. Let's have a talk with these people, see how far to... No. First, we take out their archers from a distance, then we go in fast and hard. Attack. They look disorganized. This shouldn't be too difficult. Let's just get it over with. No, take out their archers first. First, we take out their archers from a distance, and we go in fast and hard. Alright. And... Ciao! One down. Alright. Nice. Is that the only archer they had? Oh no, both of them are down. Oh, well, that has made this significantly easy. Are they raiders, though? I mean, that's the thing. Sails of a ship. Either way, I'm in a fairly decent position, but I can't shoot from here. So, I'm going to need to move up. Can I shoot from here? No, I can't, because it's full cover. That is deeply frustrating. Very well. Tyr's favor, then. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to move back. I probably should have stayed in cover, honestly, but oh well. Right, Roskva, you're kind of in an awful position. Could I get you to fall back a bit? There we are. Now, actually, ooh, let's have a look at you. Has attack of opportunity. Good. What have you got? You've got a sling, alright. You've got healing. You've got sacrament. All allies except the user get the status effect sacrament. Base mental and physical resistances are doubled. Maybe. Sure, I suppose we could go for that. Let's bring you up somewhere reasonably concealed, though, first. That will do, and then use sacrament, sure. There we are. We've got a couple of bonuses now. That is not too bad. Not too bad. Right, it's Leafear. I'm somewhat concerned that this is going to result in a trap. Sure. Let's get in there. Of course there was. Of course there was. Should have let them come to me. Cattle, can you take fire? You can, okay. If I move you up, you're going to be in a bad spot to do more, so we'll just attack from here. Who have we got? We've got someone in cover there. Yeah, everyone is in cover. Well, just try. Oh, nice work. Harried. Very nice work. Moskva, you're not going to be able to help from there, unfortunately, but you can swap your weapon and sling. Sure. Got 50% chance. Ah, bad luck. It was worth the attempt. Nefia, I would like you behind Asleafir. I feel that Asleafir is probably going to go down here. And that worries me a lot, actually. I'll move back a little bit. Gunnar, I want you to start making your way up and around. Go for it. They don't have any archers, so we don't really need the cover. We've already taken the archers out. Can you move back? Oh, you still can move back. Oh. That was a bit silly of me then. Very well. Move back if you can. And Nefia, if you can move forward to guard that area. There we go. That's a bit better. It's a lot better, in fact. Could I have you prepare for the next attack? Same for you, actually. You get... No, just go ahead and prepare. Anyone else able to do anything? I should have really had you spot traps. I need to do that much more often. I very rarely use that ability. It's to the detriment of my warriors, really. Well done on resisting the stun. And now they can't really get to you. Oh, well, okay. You can heal, but should be fine. We'll drop a ranging arrow there and then be able to take out their healer without too much issue. Looks like Gunnar is going to get a bit of a fight. Good. Gunnar will enjoy it, I'm sure. Right, Gunnar, could I have you switch between your axes? There we go. You're going to do a hell of a lot of damage there. You got charge. If I move back, I could probably get you to charge in. Step 1 back. Step 2 back. There we go. Charge. And this will probably take you out. Wallop! Well done. Very well done. Alright, move in to range. They're going to have to fight you now, and they can't back out to charge without first taking a wallop. Good. Very good. Roskva, could you please heal as Leafier?
Don't worry, I'm here.
I'm in your tent.
You are, actually. Right, Nefia. It would be better for me to move back. So I'm going to let... Well, actually, you could just go for an attack. Well, you could, in fact, reach all the way over there, but... no. Just take the hit. It's fine. You resisted the stun. Well done. Now, as Leafier can move in with the shield. We could actually go in for a stun, in fact. But you've got a shield, so I'd rather not. Oh, wow. Nice hit. Nefia, follow up with your attack. Of course, it's going to be a nice hit because you have critical
just
setting.
realized you're outclassed, didn't you?
They did, I fancy. They did. Right, could you go for quick shots? Because at this range, it's very unlikely you're going to miss. There we go, and again. Well done, indeed. Oh, this is getting the blood pumping, isn't it? This is what we needed all along. Me, could I drop a ranging shot right there? Get that going on. Bump. There we go. And that should mean that you can now hit them. Yes, it does. Well, it's not going to be particularly powerful, but... that's fine. Go for it. And you miss. But they are harried, so at least this end. We are not in a solid enough position to take a shot, so let's fall back. And there we go. That's going to be a pretty amazing blow, frankly. Go for it. We've not done a terrible job of this. It could have been a lot better, but... Right, could you move in just so that they have to back out is the main thing I want there. There we go. Oh! You used tactical move to try and get away, as did you. Very well. I mean, that's not going to have helped you at all, but sure, okay. Move back, Gunnar. There we are. And once again, charge. Just, you know, get a proper run-up going. There we go. Oh, it's a good day today, Gunnar. Very good day. And let's drop another ranging arrow. Well, are you part of my herd now? I wonder, because honestly, if not raiding these people meant that I ended up with you as a permanent member of the herd, I'm alright with this. There we are. Perfect. That was a good battle. Okay, no new injuries, but much more loot. Oh, my lord, get out there, loot. Wow, Gunnar, you did make a mess of them, though, didn't you? My lord. Armor oil, good. That's what we need. We need lots of things that we can use to make better armor. That's the main thing I would like. I would like our people to be able to tank a lot of damage. Weapons come later. But first, survivability. There we go. I mean, it's fair to say good defense is a strong offense, but... cloth armor, don't need it. Very well. I mean, they didn't really have that much, did they? Not nearly as much as I was hoping. I was expecting them to be filthy, filthy rich, but it doesn't seem to have been the case. Alright. What are we going to find over there? Anything else? Nope, nothing so far. Anything else around here? No. Very well. Well, let's actually have a quick look at what we've got in our inventory then. We're going to scrap the... Well, actually... 9 and 13, that is worse. Is there anyone for whom this would be better? No. I could give you a bow. Do I actually have the ability to give you anything? No. You're not in my party, you're just kind of with me. Alright, that's a bit of a shame. But we'll see what we can do about that. We don't need that bow then. And nor do we want this armor. There we go. Anything else? Got a number of things. Alright, moving on then. We've got 39 hides. I think we need a lot more hides than that, though. A lot more hides. Okay, we need to get back to town. Where are you? Where's everyone in the town? There we go. Let's get all the way down here. Let them know that we've taken care of the bandits. They're not getting their bloody valuables, though. Unless I see very significant rewards in our near future, then the valuables are mine. Greffa Maucolin meets you at the gate again, looking like he's expecting any moment to have an axe firmly planted in his skull. The bandits will trouble you no longer. Maucolin turns a gaze towards the tree line, from which a young man raises his arm as a signal. The Greffa breathes out several months of fear and anger. So it's true. The bandits are gone. See, Maucolin, I told you these strangers seem different than their kin. Maucolin nods heavily. Forgive us for our prejudices, Halford Aavak. You have proven yourself to be a friend of this town. That's not strictly true. So about those supplies. The old man turns and waves one of the younger villagers over to his side. He mumbles something in the girl's ear and she takes off running down the road. She will fetch fresh, healthy horses from one of the nearby farms. They will be waiting for you at the edge of town when you leave. Morkant is all smiles while translating this. He even throws in a little context of his own. I hope you understand that this is an extravagant gift for these villagers. To give away so many healthy horses. This gift is fit for a king. Thank you. I'm glad we got this all sorted out. Aavak, you've proven yourself to be both capable and honourable. I was thinking... Smile sheepishly. My travels and studies have me bound for Earthorwick and for Perth. Ooh, that's not far from where I am right now. Should you find yourself heading in either of those directions, I would gladly take companions on the road. Where are these places you mentioned? Perth lays far to the north, in the wild Pictish lands. Some of the Picts still cling to their old faith, and I hope to meet with them and chronicle their stories. I'm glad that Morkant put it like that, because, I'm not so happy the whole cling, the idea that this faith is weak, but I'm glad Morkant said, I would like to chronicle their stories, to actually record the knowledge of their faith, rather than convert them to mine. Because if he had said that, I would feel on about to say no. But, no, alright. Earthorwick is the seat of King Osred, Halford, and Protector of Northumbria. I must seek the counsel of the wise bishop there. I'll be happy to travel with you. I feel I'm taking on another peaceful villager, but... He beams. Splendid! I'm certain we have much to learn from each other. Oh well, I guess that will... that'll change things a little bit, but not that much. The problem is he's going to be there, and I'm going to not want to weigh heavily on his mind by telling him that, no, we're here to ransack these people. Oh, suddenly I can loot this body. Okay. Apparently everything has changed now. Very well, maybe everything would have changed before as well. The smell of iron, undercut with a sweet stench of rot, is carried on the wind. Sprawled across the boulder before you is the corpse of a man with an axe embedded deep into his back. From the body. You kneel down to have a closer look. The axe blade has dug deep into his back, but the angle is awkward. An unskilled kill. Gunnar steps up near where you're sitting, his brow furrowed. Wouldn't want to end up like him. How did it happen? We should find out. The locals might know something. Their ears are wide, and it didn't happen far from their walls. With a sigh you stand. The lapping of water against wood draws your attention to the dinghy dragged halfway onto the side of the creek. Okay. A small wooden boat has been dragged partially out of the water. Judging by the state of it, it's been here for a few days. Search the dinghy. Gunnar leans in, face agleam with hunger for spots. Anything worth taking? The boat has not been covered. Tucked beneath the wooden seat, you find a linen sack full of hides and sundry valuables. Retrieve the sack. Deciding to keep the contents for yourself, you pull everything out of the sack and distribute it amongst your herdmen. There we go. An axe to grind updated. We've got many quests now. Oh my lord, we've got lots of quests now. An axe to grind. You came across the remains of a man with an axe in his back. No signs of battle. His death remains a mystery. The where in the woods, you found an unsettling pile of rotting hides stacked atop a handful of Norse jewels. What could it mean? Lord of Seals. The island of Orkneyar, far to the north, and currently controlled by Viking raiders from Norway. It might be wise a first step to set sail for Orkneyar and establish a base there, particularly if you plan to build an army and conquer part of Britannia down the road. Okay. King of Picts. According to the locals, north of Northumbria is another kingdom called Pictland, or Pictavia, depending on who you ask. If you seek allies or trade partners in these lands, you might want to travel to Perth, the capital of the Picts, and seek an audience with their king. It sounds like we're going to Orkneyar. King of Northumbria. You've landed in the kingdom of Northumbria. Now that you've secured horses for your herd, you're free to travel across the land and get to know this strange new place. Seems like a good place to start. Might be the city of Eforwick, seat of King Osred II. Right south to Eforwick and seek an audience with the King of Northumbria. Well, we could do that, yes. Alternatively, I could have... Wow, I can level you up. This is marvelous. But what are you? Peaceful, open-minded, skeptical, altruistic. Peaceful, cunning, greedy, optimistic. Alright. Cunning, superstitious, greedy, independent. Aggressive, honorable, skeptical, independent. Aggressive, conceited, cooperative, pessimistic. Aggressive, open-minded, greedy, optimistic. Aggressive, altruistic, optimistic, honorable. Honorable, conceited, altruistic, cooperative. Optimistic, cooperative, open-minded, greedy, and skeptical, peaceful, independent, and altruistic. We've got 3 peaceful people in the entirety of our herd. We only have 3 people who are peaceful. Very well. But that's where we're going to be wrapping up this episode. In the next, we're going to be looking around the village a little bit more to find out a bit more about what people have to say. There are numbers of places that we can investigate, it seems. We can't go through there, unfortunately. And, more corpses. Well, that's the advantage of having the entire map revealed, as we can now see all of the new things that have been added to it. But we'll be looting those, or rather taxing those, in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this one, though, and will be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care, everyone.